Well, as exciting as this is, guys, it makes me
They are
really
available.
squeamish, which is why I've yet to be tested. And
One important thing is the insurance won't cover it. So we were lucky to find this free program because it's like $160 if you got to pay for it.
well, I would encourage all of you to get your flu shot.
That's free.
Well, insurance covers that.
Yeah.
Is the correct way of putting it, but that's fine too. So we'll officially start the meeting here then, since we seem to have a group came in a little bit late. So again, not huge things on the agenda. The LSP board meeting, which we talked a little bit about before we started this one, is at noon today. If you're interested, as Larry said, if you would like to watch paint dry, but they are, particularly for the LSPs, are doing important work, including approving training that's there. So it's good to see them on track in doing that, and it seems like they've gotten the online meeting aspect of it going pretty well. So, and we have staff Chris Borges, who is helping out with the technical side of that. So we're glad to see that it's working efficiently, working well. And, if it's the boring day-to-day government doing their business and getting it done, then I'm perfectly happy with that. So good for them.
Paul, how do we get the link for that?
You have to register. If you want, send me an email. I can forward the registration link, or ask, email Beverly Roby.
Yeah, Matt, I'll send it to you. I have the link from Wendy. I'll send it on to you.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome.
But it is good to, if you have some free time around noon, always good to watch things, government in action. As I mentioned last week, the MassDEP grants are out, and we encourage anybody, if you're working with communities along the seacoast, anywhere, to take a look of that and encourage people, whether they're municipalities or nonprofits, whatever, if there are good projects that kind of can be tied into preventing oil spills, responding to oil spills, restoring things after oil spills, anything that can be tied to the Marine Oil Spill Act, and their criteria on the webpage. Just Google MassDEP or DEP grant, and you should be able to get there quickly. And I think that it will close in early to mid-November, so there's still several weeks to take a look at it, and encourage people and organizations to apply with some good projects. We're looking to spend about $500,000, I believe, and well, we've kind of set some guidelines, kind of what we think the project's, kind of what we're aiming for, an amount of money each one can do. There's some flexibility in there. So if you have a good project, we encourage you to apply. Another thing that came up fairly recently is we received what appears to be our annual letter from an LSP saying that we don't offer enough credits. So I'd like to thank Nancy Fitzpatrick, who's on the call today, for going through kind of over the last few years and updating the spreadsheets that we have, and the LSPA has kind of equivalent spreadsheets, looking at how many credits regulatory credits that we've offered over the past 3 years in the latest cycle. And not surprisingly, it's over 35 new regulatory credits over the past 3 years, including 10 per year this year and last year. So I think we're maintaining a pretty good pace. Particularly the online courses now are available for everybody to take, which is a huge improvement over the time when you had to be right there at your desk to register, or you got locked out. So not only is there a sufficient number of credits available, but their availability is so much better that everybody has, if we put something out there, everybody has a chance to take it. So, again, always underscoring, these aren't things that you can leave to the last minute, because while there are plenty of credit hours out there over the last 3 years, it is over the last 3 years. And it's something, I'm probably preaching to the converted here. If you're showing up to these meetings and paying close attention, but it's something that, nobody should let slip through the cracks. And we'll continue working with the LSPA on providing more credits and kind of building up that library as well. And then the last thing that I have is less work related, or there is a work tied to it, which is if anybody is interested in increasing their plant collection and would be interested in having a plant for free, we will soon be offering a large number of homeless plants that we're being told that our building management would like all live plants removed from the building. And well, I know, and while
where the oxygen going to come from?
Hmm?
Where will the oxygen come from?
I know. Well, they don't want us breathing in there. So, well, they're not rushing us out the door. They have, oddly enough, they've actually already been removing the plastic plant from the common areas. But they're taking a really hard line. Not even the plastic plants. And will be, so for instance, I have this like 8-foot tall cactus in my office. It's a gorgeous plant, but there's absolutely nowhere to go. So if you have space, or if you know of a community building, a municipal building that would be interested in having some particularly some large plants, send me an email. We can make a deal. Some of them are dangerous. The 8-foot tall cactus is a little bit scary, but others are large and harmless.
You don't have any Audrey Little Shop of Horrors plants, right?
I know, but the cactus, make it close to that.
Yeah,
Paul, is this because I have seen something about removing plants because they cannot be easily decontaminated. Their surfaces cannot be decontaminated, and they're being concerned about them being a COVID-19 repository or whatever.
To give the building management the benefit of the doubt, I would say yes, that's the reason. It's health protective. I think they've also complained periodically about, we've had those little gnats periodically, and I think that annoys them as it annoys us. And I've been watering and treating the plants, so they're actually in pretty good shape at the moment. But oh well. Some of our regional offices have over the years have already been told to remove plants, so this does not come as a huge surprise. But some of these plants have been around for decades. So there you have it. My pitch to give good plants a good home.
you delivering, or do they have to be picked up someplace?
We could probably arrange it one way or another. I have a hard time throwing away plants. I have a hard time throwing away cuttings, which is actually part of the problem here.
Right.
That you trim the plants to keep them healthy, and all you do is create more plants.
Well, my wife's plants that have been outside all summer have come in, and the house is a goddamn jungle, but I will ask her if she's interested in more.
So when I go in on Tuesday, I'll take pictures of plants and offer them up. So
You have two from Bill Better's wedding from from his daughter's wedding that he gave us. So we collect plants. We're good.
Yeah, ours, yeah, we have the same problem of our plants are coming in from the cold at the moment, and there are still a couple out there that we're trying to find space for. My favorite, which was this ponytail palm that I bought at Mahoney's in Winchester in 1990.
Yeah.
It was a little thing about this big, and I have pictures of my cats sitting beside the overwhelming it. And at the time I removed it from my office, it was hitting the ceiling there. And we have slightly higher ceilings in our dining room here. And it eventually hit the ceiling, and I had to cut it off halfway up. But it was this beautiful, long, tall ponytail palm that was absolutely gorgeous, and is now filling back out again. That has to come in from the cold too.
Yeah, we have a Norfolk pine that we bought as a tiny little seedling when my son was born 44 years ago. That is now bumping up against the ceiling.
So Rob, I see you there. Rob, I can bring your plant home next week.
Yeah, that would be nice, Paul. I was just thinking maybe I need to go in there since I haven't been in the office for 6 months or so. But if you want to bring it home, I'm all to it. I'm all for it. And send me some pictures of what you have there. Maybe I'll. I have some space here. I could take some plants.
Yeah, he's got a window you can actually see out of, so he needs a plant in front of it.
Yeah, that can't stand.
I got a lot of windows here, so yeah.
Okay, well that's what I have for today. What any exciting environmental news you guys have?
ITRC released their PFAS communication resources yesterday, I saw.
Oh, nice.
So it's one of the things we've been thinking about as a potential course, Paul and Liz, is, how do we tell with the PFAS, how do we tell people when we're sampling, they go, PFAS, oh my gosh, how do we do that risk communication? And thinking back to the risk communication course that DEP ran a long time ago, we're thinking maybe try to figure out how to do an update of that specifically for communicating the risk of PFAS. And was thinking of roping in the person who did the presentation for ITRC at that DOD conference. So anyway, but yes, a new resource available.
Just send them a link to The Devil We Know on Netflix.
Oh, thanks, Joel. That'd help.
So there's a big PFAS public meeting out in the Air Harvard area last night. Any of you participate in that? I was getting periodic updates, texts from it, but it seemed to have quite a lot of public interest. I'm interested in following up with people that were there. I know Mark Smith from our Office of Research and Standards, and I think Sandy Baird was there doing some presentations, but with a lot of questions from the crowd, and including our old friend Alan Fierce was there in the crowd. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, I did a public meeting out there once, and Alan was there, and was asking some very good questions, and it's great to see him. But then you see him and think, oh, he's going to ask the hard questions. He's the ringer that knows the hard questions to ask.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, but they have to be asked. So no, I think, Matt, that would be probably a good topic. Risk, redoing or doing something along the lines of risk communication and focusing on PFAS, as we will be. This coming year will be PFAS all the time.
Yep. Okay. Well, we will. Education committee meets tonight before the LSPA meeting, so yeah, we'll discuss it again there. And if it's a possible, I'll put in a plug. So I am current, full disclosure. Yes, I am the president of the local CHMM group, Certified Hazardous Materials Managers. But if anyone is interested in the issue of plastics, particularly the plastics in the ocean and the environment, there was a nice movie made out at Sundance. We signed up to do a limited online screening, and so you can sign up at neachmm.org, and you'll get it's free pass to watch the movie online, and then we were going to have a discussion group in the end of October, I think the 25th or something. So if you're interested in the issue of plastics, particularly in the ocean and the environment, that's out there. It's a limited number. I think we only have like 15 or 20 seats licensed, but whatever.
So
Welcome aboard.
that's interesting. So you basically watch it kind of whenever it's convenient for you, and then the meeting will be at a certain time with the presumption.
Yeah, it's like a book club thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, movie club, book club. Yes. So it's you because of the COVID thing. So it's a license to watch online at your convenience, and then participate in the discussion if you feel so moved.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting to do for other things like was it Joel brought up the to have people on kind of on their own time over the course of a month watch an environmental related movie or something, and then have a Zoom call discussion, book clubbish sort of thing about it. That would be kind of fun.
Especially maybe if you were looking for topics for this particular time slot.
Yeah. So think about that. What kind of communally, frankly, I'm not sure I could do another PFAS thing. So maybe not the devil, but some other environmental, a relevant kind of new movie or documentary, what I'm trying to say, documentary.
Documentary.
That,
No, documentary is right.
Documentary, yeah. That, then, we could,
You have it from the editor in chief.
Oh, yeah. So that would be, give it some thought. Or if you have any suggestions, that might be a fun, interesting, informative thing to do, and maybe, a way to, again, broaden kind of interest in these conversations, and, particularly getting other kind of people interested in hanging out and talking about environmental topics. Kind of cool. Or if anybody else is doing that stuff already, so much the better, and let us know about them.
Particularly maybe towards the concept, you have an evergreen concept, topic of emerging contaminants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So any other things are going on that you are finding interesting? No. All right. Well,
It's the lack of vitamin D because it's getting so dark so early. We're all just kind of in a funk.
yeah. I'm not sure being down here in the basement is going to be really a good idea for me going into the winter. I might have to move back up to the third floor guest room, even though it's colder, and just run a space heater up there. Although I had once, for a year or so, I worked in a dark room in Cambridge, and I would go in, early in the morning, stop at a diner in Cambridge, have breakfast, and then go into the dark room in the basement and spend all day there. And it would be dark when I go in, dark when I came out. And it was a year of being kind of a vampire, I guess. And I think this is going to be very much like that this coming winter.
If you bring that chair upstairs when you move, would you oil the table?
You can hear that, huh? Okay.
I thought it was a cat. I thought it was a cat, and then I realized it was moving in time with you. I went, oh, it's his chair.
I thought it was a cat too.
Yeah, okay.
I thought it was a bird. A hawk.
Yeah, the-
Something.
My bird is upstairs. Okay, I'll first I'll stop my nervous, swinging.
I hear tanning beds are going cheap, Paul. You could just put the tanning bed, you go down, in the dark, and then,
I was thinking
you're in the dark all the time.
I was
30
thinking
minutes.
of doing full spectrum lighting would be good. Maybe getting those some of those lights and just like making this a blaze of light back here.
Just a
And it
reminder,
would be good for all the plants to be moving your office down to the
Exactly. Then I
basement.
can just put all the plants just
Yeah.
grow lights all over the place.
the UMass conference is next
Of
week.
course, the
as a
police will then
reminder.
show up and wonder, right? When they look at all your electricity usage coming from, and the heat coming from the basement, you'll be subject to a investigation of your growing up.
As well, as long as it's not kind of industrial commercial production, then it's fine for a certain amount. And B, I don't think I really have that problem here or that issue. They can look all they want. They'll find cactuses and crowns of thorns and jade plants and things like that. Really the less interesting plants, but nonetheless. Yes, Elliot, the soils conference, everybody going to the soils conference virtually,
Yes.
Yeah,
at least for some parts of it? Great.
Still looking for more people to man the booth, Elliot. Are you on?
Not yet.
Elliot, even I'm on that.
I'll think about it.
So how does that actually work in this virtual
I
setting?
have no idea.
You just like hang out in a Zoom chat room for,
I guess I'll have to check with Wendy and see Matt, do you know what we're supposed to do?
I think it's pretty much exactly something like that. I'm not sure whether it's Zoom or something with Cisco, but yes, I guess we're in a virtual room, and as people come in, try to engage them in the LSPA.
okay. Well, I think we passed on our booth this year. Although that might have been fun, but oh well. And there's no happy hours, so. Okay,
Happy
well,
hour, no nice drive in the fall leaves.
yeah, that was always fun driving up, going up Route 2 and then down
202.
202 down south. Yeah. Except there are a couple nights when I go back really late, drive back home, and driving up 202 in the rain or in the fog at night. I don't need
Yeah.
it anymore. Okay, well, if you guys don't have anything else for this week, we'll call an end to it and see you all next week. Well, actually, the Soils Conference will still be going on next Thursday, right?
Right.
Okay, well, I'll be here. If you have other things, certainly do the other things.
This will be your booth, Paul.
This will be my booth.
The DEP booth at the Soils
Right.
Conference, exactly.
Right, come and ask questions, or hang out, or bring your mimosas, and your little pastries. And maybe see you next week. If not, if you're in sessions next week, which I hope you are, rather than being here, then in 2 weeks will be October 29th. And that will be our Halloween meeting. So not that I expect people to get dressed up for office hours, but Joe, that's certainly a possibility if you were going to be doing it anyway. But the topic of the week then will be jack-o'-lanterns. So whether you have carved your current jack-o'-lantern or you have photographs of past jack-o'-lanterns, or you trolled the internet and found one that you really liked and want to bring as show and tell, any of those will work. So if we don't see you next week, I'll be here, but I perfectly understand if you guys are at the SOS conference. In a
Paul,
second,
can I make a recommendation for people to need to kill some time?
sure.
There's something called the Science and Entertainment Exchange. And this is it's an organization that was set up to be the link between people that are making movies and scientists. So that if you're making a movie about space travel, they'll hook you up with scientists that can actually help you make it more realistic. And they seem to be running a weekly talk. It seems to be Wednesdays, 4 to 5. That's right, 4. It's 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock here.
Mhm.
And they're very interesting. So if you have an hour to kill on a Wednesday afternoon, yeah, it's the Science and Entertainment Exchange.
Excellent. Well, I'll check it out.
And for those who are young at heart or have children or grandchildren, NASA has their website has a nice contest submittal, whatever, for what would you take to the moon? So as they get ready to start going back to the moon and encouraging kids to post pictures of what they would take.
Yeah, I think I missed probably 2/3 of that, Matt. But a contest for kids
I
on
apologize.
what they'll take to the moon?
NASA,
Yeah.
the National Aeronautics and Space Administration has a contest to send in your picture of what you would take to the moon.
Oh,
They're going with Artemis, so they have a contest particularly pitched towards kids to get them excited about thinking about going to the moon. But so if you have children, grandchildren, that might be of interest to them, or if you are young at heart.
As we all are.
Oh, of course.
Okay, well, there's a couple things to entertain you, occupy you for the next couple weeks. And if you're here, we'll see you next week. If not, in 2 weeks then.
Very good. Thank you.
Have
well,
a good weekend.
bye.
Bye-bye.